Hey everyone, what's going on? Phoenix here, and I wanted to make a part 2 on my tips for gearing up video, and this is going to specifically be breaking down the item sets. I got some questions on that tips for gearing up video, and I get some other questions on sets on my build guides that I've made for Asheron Skull, so I thought I would just take this opportunity to go through all of the item sets and what I think people should know. The most important thing to start with is that you get 9 armor slots on your character. So most sets, the majority of sets, have a bonus when you get to 5 pieces. So you can use one 5-piece set and one 4-piece set. Now the only exception to that rule is the dedication set. So dedication set gets bonuses on 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9 pieces worn. Now this set is very good, but it's very generic. And in Asheron Skull, in order to min-max to the best possible extent, we want to be very specific. Now, there are protection sets, like the first one listed here is the acid proof set. These are okay, and if you play on Levistrus, there is some custom content that makes these a little bit better, and that includes some pieces of jewelry or cloaks or trinkets that have these protection sets on them so that you don't have to wear 5 or 4 pieces of armor in order to get the bonuses. If you're playing on a base emulator server, I would not use these protection sets. They are the weakest sets in my opinion. The next set on here is the Adept set. This is the best set to wear 5 pieces if you are a War or Void mage. So War Magic and Void Magic specifically, their damage scales with the skill, War Magic and Void Magic. So you're going to want to get those skills as high as possible to do the maximum amount of damage. Now, there's a couple of pairings that you can make with Adept set that is really good. Dedication, 4-piece is viable. As we noted, it gets a 4-piece bonus, so you get 6 points to all attributes, which is very nice. Defenders is a really good second set option if you want to be more defensive, if you want to have those high defensive skills. If you're playing in an area like Hoshino regularly where you need to have high melee defense, this is a good option. And another good secondary set option is the Wise set. So Wise set 4-piece bonus is going to give us 10 focus, willpower, and summoning, which is nice to hit that 570 summoning threshold. So those are, in my opinion, your options when you're running Adept set if you're a mage. Next set I want to look at is the Dexterous set. This is going to be your best option if you are a missile weapons character, with the exception of thrown weapons, and if you are a finesse weapons character. It took me a second to find this, but as you can see, the attribute modifiers, this is what your damage scales off of. So if you're using bow, crossbow, or finesse weapons, you're going to want to have the highest coordination you possibly can to get the most amount of damage you can, and that's going to be Dexterous set. So if you're using finesse or missile weapons, again with the exception of thrown weapons, you're going to want to use Dexterous set as your 5-piece. Then for your second set, there are a lot of really good pairings here. Adept set is a really good second pairing. For Dexterous set, you're going to get 10 to all of your magic skills. So if you're trying to Vuln with life magic, this is a really good way. If you're playing like a traditional archer template with spec life, spec missile weapons, this is going to be a really good setup. Again, defender set is always a good option. Dedication set, always a good option. If you're playing finesse, you can use swift to get higher attack skill, although that's very niche and I might be the only player on Levistrus who uses that setup. And you could use wise if you're having trouble hitting that 570 summoning skill requirement. Next set we're going to hit on is the Hardy set. This is going to be your best set if you're going to be playing heavy weapons, light weapons, or two-handed combat, or if you're going to be using Atlatls, thrown weapons character, because there your damage is going to scale off of strength. Good secondary set options for this would be Defenders. Adept maybe, I don't really think so, because if you're a strength character, you're not going to have the attributes to hit like really good life magic. Dedication is really your best bet second option with Hardy set to maximize the damage, because again, Hardy set increases your strength again. So the best possible strength you can get if you're trying to do maximum damage is with 5-piece Hardy, 4-piece Dedication. And then Soldiers is another good option to get those increased combat skills and not miss. Now Soldiers is better than Swift because the secondary thing that you'll get from it is melee defense. If you're wielding, if you're using a 4-piece, you'll get +3 to melee defense. That's much better than Cord that comes off Swift, especially because when you're using Swift, you're likely to be using Dexterous, so this bonus is not going to actually do anything. And then Wise. Wise is a really good set, but I don't think it's a good primary set because you're always going to be better off with Adept as your 5-piece and Wise as your 4-piece. That's going to be it for this video. A quick rundown of the item sets and what I think the best pairings are for them in Asheron Skull. It kind of would have been interesting to see what Turbine could have done with sets if they had continued to develop the game a little bit later, and it's unfortunate that with custom content we can't change this and add any new sets. I think that would be really cool to experiment with. There's so much that you could do here. So that's going to be it for this one. If you have more questions on gearing up as a character in Asheron Skull, let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to make another video on certain topics if they get a lot of interest. So thanks for watching.